Some would say that the Electro-Harmonix LPB-3 is boring and terribly unsexy, but I'm here to tell you that in fact it is exciting and terribly sexy. In fact, if you use it in the right way, it can change your guitar tone in some amazing ways. So let's have at it, shall we? The LPB-3, well, it stands for Linear Power Booster. And booster, yeah, it is a boost pedal. 3 is the third generation. I had one of the originals way back when I was a teenager, and I loved it because it just transformed my cobbled together teenager amplifier. This thing is on steroids, though, compared to the original generation. Let me play you my unaffected guitar tone. So I'm running into a Strymon Iridium set to the Marshall amp model, and as you can hear, I've got a little delay on the signal. This is the first thing to note. The LPB-3 can be used effectively in front of a traditional guitar amplifier or an amp modeling pedal. Really cool there. Let me go ahead and turn it on. Again, here's my dry tone. And as you can hear, with all the knobs turned to noon, like I have it set up right now, basically it's not doing anything. It's not affecting your guitar tone at all, which is great. So it can be very transparent. On the left-hand side of the pedal, we've got gain controls. We have a switch at the top that allows for a maximum of 20 decibels of gain, or if you switch it to the up position, you can get up to 33 decibels of gain being pushed into the front end of your amplifier. Whew! So let's try that just a little bit. I've got it set to the 20 dB mark. Again, that's our dry, right? Let's start with... Oh yeah, that's significant. That's only the 20 dB setting. Should we try the 33 dB? Oh yes, of course we should. Here we go. Let's recalibrate our ears. Now there's another knob down there. It's called pre-gain. If we turn it all the way off, let me turn the pedal on. You can hear that that's affecting the gain structure also. And what pre-gain does is it controls how much gain the pedal is going to push into the EQ section, which we'll be talking about in a moment. So let me bring pre-gain all the way up. Now, some people are going to ask this question, classic question, hey, can you clean up your signal when you turn your guitar's volume control down? And of course, the answer is Yes. All right, we've got transparent, clean boost for miles on this pedal. We also have a very powerful EQ section. We've got treble, bass, and mids. Oh yeah. So everything is set to noon right now, so it's basically at unity. Just for grins, I'm going to bring everything up, the bass, the mids, and the treble, all the way up. And I've discovered this is a really cool way to run this pedal if you just want a little extra juice. So let me bring it down to the 20 dB gain. All right, so this is, again, unaffected here. You can just make everything sound a little bigger and thicker without changing the gain structure that much, without increasing distortion that much. But of course, we can increase distortion crazily if we wish. All right, let's examine the bass control in and of itself. Now I'm going to bring the bass all the way down. Yeah, I can get that really thin sound. Let's bring it all the way up. Almost sounds like I put a subwoofer into the signal chain. Yeah, it's very, very sensitive, and it's got a huge range of bass boost or cut. Let's try the treble. Treble's all the way down now. Yeah, some nice muddy stuff. Let's bring it all the way up. Yeah, again, like the bass control, treble is very sensitive. It can boost or cut by a wide margin. I'm going to go ahead and bring the bass all the way down with the treble all the way up. Whoa, that hurts my ears. Yes, really kind of amazing. Let's bring the treble all the way down and the bass all the way up. Yes. Now we come to the mid-range, and as you may have heard, the magic is in the mid-range, and I would agree with that for this pedal because the mid-range section is very powerful indeed. First up, I want to draw your attention to the little switch in the upper right-hand corner. It is called the Q switch. So as we begin to manipulate the mid-range in the signal, we can either have Q set to low or high. Low means that the mid-range adjustments are going to affect a broader range of mid-range frequencies. If you set Q to high, it's going to bring it in and focus on a smaller range of mid frequencies. So let's leave it on low, and let me go ahead and cut the mids first. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that scooped mid sound, right? Let's get a little more gain going. Now, this guitar is not a good choice for scooped mid metal playing, but you can kind of get a feel for how it would be if you had a more appropriate guitar and maybe a rectifier style amplifier. Let's go ahead and do a mid boost and see what we get. Oh yeah. Now with this setup, we're kind of getting off into Brian May territory, aren't we? Yeah. Now, if I just dial a little less bass in there. Yeah, got rid of some of that low-end mud. Let's recalibrate our ears with the original dry signal. Yeah. One of the things that's nice about this pedal is even though you can push a ton of gain into the front end, with the right control settings, you can get relatively close in terms of overall level between your unboosted signal and your boosted signal. I mean, it's louder, don't get me wrong, but you kind of want it louder, right? If you have a boosted signal. You can hear which one I'm most likely prefer. Yes, I like boosted mids. But let's examine the high Q setting. So we've had this on low, and I think leaving the mids boosted will give us a really good feel for what it does. So again, here is boosted mids with low Q. Here's high. So if you were listening on your phone, you probably couldn't hear it, but what happens is when you switch it to high, lower mid-range frequencies drop out because they're not being boosted, and some of the upper mids are also dropped out because they're not being boosted. It's more focused in that narrow mid band. But we're not done with the mids because we can actually change the center frequency where the mids are being boosted or cut. We're kind of in the middle of the range now. Let me go ahead and bring it down to the low end of the range, and you're going to hear things change radically. Things just got a lot thicker. Now let me go ahead and sweep in the opposite direction where we're going from low mid center to a high mid center. Ooh. Now now this is interesting. With the high mids being boosted like that, if I bring down the bass and the treble, here's what I get. Yeah, now I'm going to leave everything the same, but just bring the Q from low to high. So how about some mid-range cuts? Yeah, so I've got the mid knob set to the highest cut level, all the way to the left, the other right, and I've got the mid frequency set all the way up. Here's what I get. Oh, that is interesting. So if I'm cutting the high mids, I get a similar tone to boosting the low mids. Let me just do that real quick here. Here we go. It's not exactly the same, but it is similar. Huh. Kind of cool. Now, let's go ahead and sweep the mids when we have them cut. Scoop mids. That is a really interesting sound. It's really thin, but you can hear the bass frequencies riding underneath the cut mids. Now, if I cut that bass all the way out, and what if I cut the sizzle out with the treble? It's almost a real metallic sound. Let's try some mid cuts with the Q set to high. Here's where we ended up before I cut the bass and the treble. Okay, let me go ahead and set it to high. Can you hear that? When I've got the Q set to low, more of the mids drop out. When I've got it set to high, less of the mids drop out. It's a really different kind of scooped mid sound. I hope your mind is kind of blown at this point by all the possibilities. So I've got a setup here that gives me a sound that I like when I'm playing ambient guitar soundscapes. I'm boosting the mids a little bit. I've got mid frequencies set a little bit to the left of noon, so we're getting a little bit into the lower range of the mids, and I'm boosting that a little bit. I'm actually gonna leave the bass alone, and I'm cutting the mids just a bit to reduce sizzle. And now I'm going to use my volume pedal to create some soundscapey kinds of things. So if you're like me, your mind has been blown and you're thinking, whoa, there's a lot that I could potentially do with this boring and unsexy Linear Power Booster 3 by Electro-Harmonix. Drop a comment and let me know what you think about this pedal. Also, I've got other Electro-Harmonix demos here. Click there and I'll see you over on those videos.